All right. Good evening. Hello, everyone. Well, and good morning, good day, wherever you are located. Today we are located at Fuji. Hello. In the chat. Right. This AMG BOP is very bad, you know. I am very flying today. Not like on track, but I've just arrived back home and I really wanted to do this race. I have no idea how the car drives. Let me put the gloves on. And oh, 17 seconds of practice. That's gonna be fantastic. I think the stream is fine. I think we are live, right? The scene is correct, the stream is on, the chat window is on. Everything is functional. It's 9 o'clock. Let's go. Hello, hello Mario. And that was the best practice one can get. 3 laps of quali. Could it be 4? Well, it's let's just put a bit more fuel just in case it's 4. And then let's see how the AMG drives. I've not driven this car for quite a long time. Well, never on this tire. After V1.2. Forgot to turn the speedo off, but that's fine. That's Motec. Okay. I think we are functional. Let's go. Certainly a very different handling compared to the McLaren, right? I did quite some McLaren laps earlier today as we were doing the Silverstone GT3 race after this, and I was doing the Go setup for McLaren as well for Silverstone. Forgot how TC works with the AMG. I guess I can use a bit less of everything. Oh, it's the classic Sebring, Fuji. Good to know. Always good to figure out the layout of the track while you are already on the track. Nice rotation. I mean, the fixed setups are always quite alright for front-engined cars. Okay. I think it's 2 laps. 2 attempts. Where is the braking point? Let's say around here. Not bad. I saw Fabrizio Crestani in P1 of the leaderboard. I think he's the real life GT3 driver. This car is nice, you know. My first experience on the V1.2 tire again, but this is really good. I see a purple. Oh, I don't know how to do this corner with extra speed when you skip the chicane. And on throttle, great rotation. Night and day compared to the McLaren. Why am I struggling with the McLaren? I just want to keep forcing myself. into that car. It's a good car anyway. Hello Salisi. P2 on one more attempt. Brake here. Ah, that was not great on the exit. Patient. It rotates much better on throttle than what I remember from before. That was better than lap before. That's too wide. It will be an improvement, but not the pole. Alright, I think I have too much TC. I was cutting a lot. I don't know which one. But I'm gonna take an improvement. Actually, let's keep going, so we practice turn 1. I lost 2 tenths here for sure. Just need to wait. Oh, okay. Wanted to say, just need to wait a little bit longer to make a more straightforward exit. And then I get hooked on the curb, and that's not good. We have fresh... yeah, we have new tires for the race. That's alright. Actually, let's just calculate what do we need. 3.1. And we are doing 97 seconds. Gonna be 13 laps times 3.1, 40%. Okay. Let's set that. Let's say 41. 3, 4, 5. This is all good. New tires. Should be fun. If we survive the start. Alright. Hello Crow. Hello Gubbingtons. Hello Kenobi. The Slovenian LMU Championship. Yeah, for those who don't know, Slovenia is small, but it's still large enough that we actually now have a official, like, what's it called? There is official Slovenian rally virtual championship, and then official like circuit championship, and the circuit one is in LMU. And I want to do it. It's clashing with VMS Pro though. Let's not miss the start. I just gonna take 2% extra just in case. But I will see. Maybe I'll do 2 or 3 rounds of the Slovenian Championship. Let's see how it goes. That would be fine. No Mustang today. No Mustang. Only the AMG. And look at how bad the BOP is. Like, it couldn't even give me the pole position. So bad the AMG BOP. No, like, I think the McLaren will struggle a bit at Silverstone, but let's see. Robida. It is Grid Engineering Porsche 911 RSR replica. Downside to running 340. Downside is that I kind of like to have a bit TC when you have slip angle. Like, otherwise it allows a bit too much sideways action. It's kind of personal preference, Specs, I'm still yet to do the exclamation mark. I think wheel works, like exclamation mark wheel. Otherwise, Samsung 49-inch. Simicube to Pro, Huizenfeld Sprints. Let's not miss the start. Side draft. Absolute classic Fuji turn 1. You know, the only thing that was missing was somebody like completely overshooting the... nice look on the inside. Completely overshooting the entry, but I'm gonna take it. Maybe I kind of squeezed the Shimano on the outside, but I got pushed there. Understeer. Ah, that's not a great place for an understeer. Oh, I don't know how to do this corner. It has a lot of rotation initially, but if you're too early on throttle, you will eventually run into that terminal understeer. PC specs, I will one day post everything. Like at the moment in the background we are working on some improvements overall. New scenes, some music, some more like stream starting, stream ending and so on. And I will make sure to update stuff to be more clear, and that info will be more easily available. But it's, I got 9800X 3D Ryzen, and then I have 3080 RTX graphics card. And would you believe it, 64 GB of DDR5 RAM. Probably the most expensive thing I have in my house, or I don't know, house, the communist block apartment, but I could sell half of it for a good fortune and buy a Ferrari, but no, I need the RAM. Ooh, nice dive. That was a weird one. I remember people complaining a bit with how stiff the FFB is on the AMG over curbs, and I think it's not too bad except for that. But is that gonna be a cut? It's a green one. It's kind of like in that corner which skips the chicane, it's kind of harsh but nothing too bad, but I understand what they mean. Yeah, well, you're kind of left only with the Senna throttle technique sometimes because of that understeer. I don't know what else to do. I can just fully lift on the exit, but I kind of lift, go back on throttle, hope that it's enough, see that it's not enough, go back on throttle, or like lift again and then back on throttle and lift again, like feeling for rotation, but rotation never appears, so I just wait. The corner is over while stabbing furiously on the gas pedal. Sitting on the gold mine. I don't know. I hoped I could upgrade my GPU, but well, 38 is fine. It's 4 or 5 years old, but just like it's running a little bit low on VRAM, but it's 10 gigabytes. Like I shouldn't really complain about it. I don't need everything on ultra. Medium high is fine. Oh, the grass esports line. Oh, I remember some people taking some crazy weird lines there on this layout. Oh, we have the dive. Keep getting very nice exit though. 3/10. He might have a chance. Yeah, I mean TC20, it's very light rear, so I don't want to have it too crazy. Do I have to defend this? The famous last words, almost. Don't think there's an overlap. Okay. Understeer. I was like, if I defend, he's gonna maybe get me on switchback, but if I don't defend, he either dives and I do switchback, or he tries to go for the apex, but I can go around the outside. The 32 RAM is just about enough, I think, but I normally use like 20 plus, 20-25. Because it kind of duplicates, like, whatever you ooh. Interesting. Kind of duplicates the VRAM. If you use 10 gigabytes of VRAM, it's gonna use extra 10 on the normal RAM for some reason. I'm in trouble, I cannot pull away. Yeah, well, of course, yeah, for stream it's good to have some extra performance available. Let's defend this. Park it on the apex. You just, like, it's impossible to overtake around the outside at Fuji unless you're really like ahead. And the nice thing with the AMG is that it's so stable that I feel very comfortable just turning in, not leaving much space on the inside. And then if a touchy happens, I know that it's just gonna be a little bit of a bump, nothing too crazy. I am messing up that corner. Oh, we had an overlap. Now I'm on the outside. Uh-oh. Can I pull ahead? I can. Nice. Why are my LEDs are not turning on? Ah, it's... I would need to over-rev it a lot. He's trying. Okay, that's a better line. Just feels like it's gonna shatter the subframe, or like the what's it called? Podvozje. If there is somebody who can translate that into English. There is no wooden plank on these cars, right? So I can jump a little bit over the curbs. He's sending it everywhere. But I mean, suspension is not really podvozje. Or is it? No, suspension is uzmetenje. Okay, quarter point, no problem. I'm impatient with the front grip, turning too much. Chassis. Maybe we have a little bit different words in Polish compared to Slovenian. Or slightly different meaning. Well, a spring is uzmet in Slovenian, so there we have then like suspension being the uzmetenje. And that would be suspension. I think. Anyway, 4 tends to P2, he cannot slipstream from there. Zawieszenie, okay. Well, that's... you actually have like a complete literal translation from English. We don't really. I'm letting him put the nose in a bit too much. But alright, no drama. Rotate. Full throttle. Defend. Ooh, he's really carrying so much more speed into there. What? I think we're gonna be doing Massa versus Kubica in the last lap here. I mean, it's good racing, right? I cannot keep defending everywhere. If he wants to dive everywhere, but I can keep switch backing. He's keeping 5th gear. Defended. Well, he's aggressive, but he's reasonable, I think. There were many options where we could have absolute massive crash, but we managed to avoid, and that's great. Too early. I think if I manage to always nail this next corner, I would be safe, but I keep messing it up, or like I don't know how to take it. Turn in. Use the grass. I don't know. Oi. Yeah, like if I turn off slip TC, I might have a little bit more initial rotation, but like I just had a big moment. I don't want to have even bigger moment than that. 4 to go. He's doing a Daniel Ricciardo. See you later. Like it's you can just see it coming, right? Because he kind of lifted a bit early and I just knew it. Right, a bit of a breather then. Let's see if he can catch up within the last 4 laps. And then when I'm almost fully on the inside and I really brake at the last possible moment, and then he's braking even later, even more on the inside, and you just know that there is no worry at all, no fear, he's just gonna completely overshoot it. But good try. Time to not overdrive. Very nice. Free to go. To be honest, he might just about have the pace to catch me in the last lap, in the last sector. I had more rotation before. Track limit, okay, I'm gonna take the track limit. Okay, I didn't lose time there, nice. I can see on the trace, like this TC trace on the exit, that it's just restricting my exit a lot, but yeah, I had the snapper before, so I'm scared turning it down. I gained a 10th, that's nice. Hey Pancake, doing well, thank you. Hope it's similar for you. I'm just glad I'm not like fully off pace, because I literally jumped in the sim, scrambled together everything to start the stream on time for the quali start. Just about managed to do it, so. But this car is just like, it's if you know what you're doing, if you have the track experience at Fuji. Well, I mean, I've driven it before on 1.1 LMU, so I kind of know what to do. And it allowed me to just about be there, to take the lead at the start, as Tasmano kind of messed up the apex of T1. If you have the patience with the car, then the pace will suddenly just appear out of nowhere. Why did I gain 3 tenths? Well, it's very important 3 tenths. Bonjour, Pierre. Fastest hyper at Monza. That's a good question. I'm not sure about the long run. It's gonna be scorching heat, it's gonna be so hot, so it makes sense to try to find out if you can get a car that kind of keeps lower temperatures. I'm sure the Peugeots, both the winged and wingless, will do quite well. Like the winged Peugeot that I've driven in VMS Pro Season 2, it always had a little bit of a temperature problem because we always had kind of cold races. But if it's hot, it's doing remarkably well. And then, well, the Valkyrie is always a fun pick. It's a bit lighter because it doesn't have the battery, so it's loading the tires a bit less. Well, I defended it. Not quite 36.9, but I am quite happy with this. Yeah, the Valk, it's heavier at the start of the stints, of course. Alright, purple in the end. Very, very beautiful. I'm gonna take that. Quite a defense, yeah. Was good racing. I mean, I would show the replay. I'm just gonna show the replay of the start, but I need to run to do a lap of practice, at least for Silverstone. Okay. Ah, the purple AMG got kind of pushed a bit into me there. Well, arguably I should have left a bit more room, right? I kind of pushed him off, so that's not the greatest on my side, but you know, like the way that this car drives, I got kind of pushed at the apex a bit into a weird line, and then it's first gear and I'm already on throttle there. So it's just gonna kind of do front wheel performance. So actually, wait, I had a bit of a... Come on. I opened up the steering, but I felt a lot of understeer, so that's why I opened it up. It's fine. All good. Ramming, okay, I was just making sure it's... somebody's not saying that I rammed them. Thank you for the GGs. Dear chat, I need to quickly... Okay, it was this one, yeah. Yeah, he went way too soon on the left not to be suspicious, so I was like instantly, okay, he's doing something. And then he kind of already starts doing this, and there he goes. But here's my braking point, so... I brake. See you later. Okay. Nice. Yeah, Luca, it's Merc fixed, so okay. We cannot cry about BOP here, so that's it's really a good idea here that we have every week a fixed event with only one car. Okay. Time to actually wait. Quick check. Daily. Oh, I'm not gonna be able. I am going to be able to see it. Leaderboard. Yeah, 80 milliseconds to Fabrizio. All right. Gonna take it for no practice. Do I have time to join practice even? Oh, we have quite a field today. Well, is there? There is no our Italian friend. Mr. Ciclari is not registered yet. The other McLaren to let me know that I have messed up my setup. That's also nice. Okay, I'm gonna have one lap of very cold tire practice. So about Monza 6 hours, I am doing it and I am driving the hypercar actually. I said that I'm gonna be driving BMW some days ago, but I am probably not going to drive the BMW, although we have not with teammates fully like made a written document saying what car we drive and what car we don't drive. Oh, I have not renamed the setups yet. I have renamed them when uploading them to the correct spot for the Go Setups folders, so that's alright. Yeah, I've just clicked the clicks today for this car. Actually yesterday and today early. I finished it and I hope it's not as bad as it was at Qatar with the BOP. Yeah, it's super cold. 12 air, 9 track. Very frozen. But for the BOP, you know, they said they're just gonna release the new tire update with 1.2 and just do a quick BOP. They kind of nerfed the Porsche and the Lambo a bit, but they are still too quick. It's not that bad. You know, at Sebring, it was a really good fight between Lambo, Porsche and the McLaren. In the end, I think Porsche was still probably the most solid pick, but the McLaren was a really good pick as well. It was a really good race. I broke early, look at the chat, looked back on the screen and I was off track. Well, yeah, if air temp is 12, then the tires start at 12, so no grip. Waiting for the day when I select the Corvette. I mean, one day, potentially. If I keep doing these Tuesday streams and we keep having LMGT3 championships on Tuesdays, that's gonna be alright. At some point I will circulate through all kinds of AMGs, Ferraris and Corvettes. Ah, the LMP2. LMP2. You know, it's... If you check Motec, you will see that most of that extra wear is coming on the turn exits. So you might just need to be more careful on throttle or add a bit of traction control or, you know, soften the rear, add rear toe, stuff like that. Like just to keep the rear in check a little bit. So we indeed don't have Ciclari. So we might have a chance. Is Lambo the best car to drive? So Lambo is a funny one. Because compared to the McLaren, let's say, Lambo needs 100 liters for one stint and McLaren needs 80 liters. For that was for Sebring, I think. I think McLaren here needs a bit more. Depends a bit on the track layout. But I mean, if McLaren needs more, then Lambo needs more as well. But now Lambo is really good for quali and in high-speed corners it's immense and it has great acceleration. I think it struggles a bit, I think, with the rear on or like in hot conditions maybe. And then again it's heavy on full tank. And then for the Corvette, yeah, then again, like for the McLaren, I struggled for 2 hours, like just nothing worked, and suddenly I reached some kind of operating window, and then boom, like crazy lap time. So I think it could be similar for Corvette. I have not ever really looked into it. Why don't we just load the setup? Drive. It's gonna be... Wait, how long is the quali? Was it 10 minutes? Problem is, we need many laps to heat up the tire, as it's so cold. Though the Corvette, now that we have the brake ducts, I think that instability in the long run can be quite fixed. Like if it's hot enough, you just fully open up the rear ducts to keep the temperatures down, but keep the front ducts closed a bit. So then you actually have stable front to rear temperatures. Although in super hot conditions both axles will overheat anyway, so then you're effectively just destroying the front performance to make the car stable, which is usually not a great idea. Hello Zinho, hello Hyper. I need to brake earlier here. I wonder what will Ramone do with the McLaren. He really has the McLaren experience. But I did some funny stuff with the setup here. Kind of slightly unorthodox maybe. But I checked the lap times on the On Speed spreadsheet, which kind of tracks the setup shops. And the fastest McLaren quali lap there was 58.4 I think. And fastest Lambo was 7/10 quicker with 57.7. But I almost matched the Lambo with the McLaren after the clicks. It's quite tricky to drive though, so let's see. Just gonna get half a lap of practice again. Any front engine cars viable? Great question. Maybe on some tracks. Well, the Lexus is not bad. It's bad in quali, I think, but in hot conditions in the long run, it's always gonna be nice. And the Lexus is just like a nice car overall anyway. Ford, yeah, well, Ford, I would have to test everything. Logi, you must have copy-pasted that from my Go setup. AMG's worst Lexus, okay. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, the BMW really likes cold temps. Zero ducts, uh-oh. Well, I uploaded my McLaren setup today. I don't know what it had before. Then again, ducts are a weird thing, right? Like how will you make a setup? You make a setup, but people need to understand. Oh, 10-minute quali, so that's 5... Could be 6 attempts. Okay, let's not do a big leak of the setup. Load. Drive. The mandatory stop go. This time it's Mr. Barrier. Okay, he escaped. Always somebody, like, I think it's a bug, you know, like if you have the last pit stall here, like it's a really weird pit exit. He used Lambo. Yeah, a Lambo is different. Lambo likes to hit the tires that much more, so maybe it actually needs 0 for the race. I think the ducts are quite interesting. Imron, hello, thank you for the sub. McLaren OP, I don't think so. Ah, for Monza, yeah, Monza will be a McLaren fest, I think. Though I've just done like a really good go setup for McLaren. I don't know what others did, but I didn't really try hard for the hot lap, and it was still quicker than everything else on any other YouTubes of the setup shops. So then I don't know if other setup shops try harded even more to beat me or something, but yeah, it's 7/10 off at Qatar, but it maybe has quite good pace advantage over some other cars at Monza. I overfueled, didn't I? By a lap. Barrier with stop and go. Still. What's he doing? 48.4 for Jaime. I think I did 48.4 as well. Although I think 0.2 is pretty much straightforward, no hassle, just like a good clean lap. But well, it's still a McLaren. It still can bite you. Like that, although there are no long fast corners at Monza, so yeah, I've seen some tire warm-up tricks before, when people were doing weird stuff at Spa in very cold conditions, like really like weird ABS numbers, like ABS 4, and then just like fully doing, I'm gonna show like this, just into the apex, full brake, and use all the micro lockups to hit up the tires. I saw people doing that, but I tried it here and I couldn't really see big advantage. Barrier still in the pits. Oh, that's gonna be a problem for him. What's he doing? Like, he has a bug or something? I mean, probably you need to serve the stop go, you cannot just escape. Well, here you don't have time to mess with the penalties, because you need every lap of tire temps. So he is in trouble. And I need the third outlap now. But I guess I just start setting lap times. I basically went full downforce. So in the corners, like, actually has some front, but the rear is doing McLaren things even more than normally. Oh yeah, maggots and packets, the perfect corners for the McLaren. No, I can still easily die there. Like, you need to know how the car drives. If you just brake into high-speed corner, even if it's a small brake input, you might just dive the front way too much and completely destroy the balance. Porsche P1. What a surprise. So 2 attempts to make it count. Please be purple. Ah, it's green. I'm gonna be happy with 58 free, let's say. Looking good. Should have 2 10s now. I wobbled again. Alright, let's go full McLaren then. I should have closed the ducts even more. They were set for 6-lap run. Iverson improved himself. Okay, over the line. 58-1. 193. Alright. You know, that's significantly faster than some setup shop competitors that they did in like optimal conditions, not at like high grip 12 Celsius. So, but it's so much on the limit. I almost lost it in Maggot's Beckets again. Yeah. Big wobble. Okay. Time to calculate. We will be doing 59s, I guess. So 119. 23 laps. 23. We will need 3.86. So we need 90% energy. Okay. Corvette in P3. Big gaps. Barrier in the end. Oh, he's still on a lap maybe. He's still going. He's improving how much time he has on the last corner exit. Not that much. Hello drivers. So I both. I mean, I did the Go setup for this car, so I'm not sure if they uploaded it yet, but I used the Go setup that is or will be available for the McLaren for this track. And inconveniently, I have not renamed it, but I'm loading, and I need to quickly check something again without leaking. And we are taking fresh tires on the left, of course. It's gonna be 40... Wait, what did they calculate? 45 minutes. And then like take away 5 seconds for the start. And then we will, if we are doing 19, that's gonna be really fast. 23 should be fine. All good. LFM is Silverstone as well. Ah, okay. I don't know, LFM. Maybe I should be doing LFM, but there is just too many things to race. Thank you, drivers. Top pace achievable in VR. I think it is. Yeah, Mr. Malinowski or Tortellini on YouTube. He drives in VR. So, I remember it was a Finnish guy. I don't know who it was, but I remember like 10 years ago or so, we had... well, it was iRacing, like iRacing F1, kind of like the top F1 championship, like the top tier, the biggest thing. And one race was suddenly won by somebody with VR. Still remember seeing that and thinking, oh, okay. I guess VR is then not that bad. But okay, it's a... well, I don't know what was the format. Kind of more of a sprint race, or like F1 type of race, not really too much endurance. I've never tried LFM LMU. I know Michi Hoyer is driving that LFM Pro series, but... it's... I mean... just to have another system in parallel with race control, or like which is the classic, or like the stock Le Mans Ultimate Online. I don't know the reason why to split it, or like why would I go LFM if I can just do the in-game system, unless LFM provides some extra incentives, but apart from the broadcasts for LFM Pro series, it doesn't really, so I don't know. But yeah, it's time to go. Opala. Still getting caught up with it. Losing ground on the outside, yeah, I forgot about it. Saw it coming. This is a bit more stable than the quali set. But it's still esports. Ah yeah, a bit of understeer. Yeah, the Corvette is even more understeer on power just to survive. No, but he went quick into that T1. That was never gonna work. I'm gonna eat the cut. And now let's see what the Porsche does. He was quick in quali. He was very quick in quali. That's wide, maybe. Okay, apex, nice. It's still this bug with too fast lighting or ambient transition. Thought that was fixed. Not warmed up, not warmed up left side yet. Still has this big understeer on the exit. Where is my cooling? There we go. That's a cut. We have 5 cuts for a 45-minute race. We had 6 for an 8-hour race at Sebring. But Sebring is a great track, you cannot really cut anywhere. So round 2 a week ago at Qatar, at that round Manisha behind in Corvette was doing similar, staying close but not really necessarily having the pace to fully push me. But I feel like the McLaren is closer to the Porsche than at Qatar. Everyone cutting anyway. 8, power, understeer, okay. He gains 2 tenths in high speed. That's always gonna be the biggest struggle point of the McLaren. Long high-speed corners. It's a lot of smoke. Even in these corners where a McLaren could be stronger, I don't gain. Really, the McLaren problem is that you can make it stable, but every click that makes it stable just makes it slower. But nobody can really drive it on the limit of the esportiest setup. Okay, that was nice, sector 1. Tires still warming up. Actually, one thing that I can hope for is that maybe Iversen ahead has very closed ducts and will actually start overheating the tires, and that's why he had more pace at the start. But a purple sector is nice to see. Purple. But I messed up sector 3 already. Hachemi, yes, I will do 6 hours of Monza with hypercar. It's the worst combination because you're kind of turning and the McLaren is already on the limit, and then you apply the brake again for the last right. I don't even know where the snap happened. I think it was for the left. Anyway, like if you're coasting and then braking again is just death sentence for McLaren, but somehow we survive. Just need to be more gentle. Oof. You die like that in a Lambo. A Lambo dies on some entries as well, right? The nice thing is that we are gapping everybody behind. The other McLaren doesn't seem to have much pace. I feel like if I fully nail it, I can slowly but surely catch the Porsche. But, poof. Pushing the McLaren hard is never a good idea. And the setup is not really made for pushing hard. It's made for Just a little bit under the limit of driving, that's safe. But it will handle nice if you do it. Thank you. Why do I still see white flags instead of blue flags? Well, the BOP is the BOP. Big fight behind, I see, for P3. Somebody stop that Porsche. Wherever we go, it's just flying. Ah, let's see at Monza. Monza could be different. Porsche flying in sector 3, and it's kind of a Porsche sector with the braking and with acceleration and so on. At the same time, the stop the track limits. How much do we have now? 1.25. Okay. Well, we can keep going with track limits for a bit longer. Yeah, typically the McLaren is the happiest in kind of mechanical grip sections and straights, but it's not happy in braking zones and in high speed and or long corners. It just lacks that front bite. And if you make it more biting, then it will absolutely bite you in high speed. Just cannot make it to the apex. Okay, let's make some 58s. What is the leader doing? Cut. They're all cutting. Nice. That's a green. Ah. Why is that a yellow? It's that curb as well. That destabilizes the car. Wish we had separate brake ducts for each corner of the car, so we could make each tire kind of in the perfect window, but this is reasonable now. Not sure if it's TC, but I don't think I could ever go so early on throttle out of this last corner with any other car. Green cut. Nice. It's that moment when you go off ABS. You just need to make it in a like very smooth fashion, otherwise it loves to snap. And I put brake bias much more to the front than normally to help with that, but it's still not great. I'm not doing the best job at selling the McLaren setup. Although the pace is still really good. We have the other McLaren now in P3, so that's a good comparison. Alright, Logie. It's one of those races where, like, if you fully nail everything, then you will maybe gain a tenth. But next lap, you mess up a corner, lose a couple of tenths, and the gap just opens up. That's a nice T1. But you see, like, it's a very nice car if you just drive it like it wants. Not like this. But entry was nice. I wish Tiny Pedal was displaying the lap times even if they are cut laps. Or like maybe just coloring them differently if it was a cut lap. Maybe it's possible to set it up. Brake, lift early, then modulate the apex with throttle a bit. But not too early, too much throttle, and then it's nice. But as long as I'm gaining half a second on Ramonet, who has been maining the McLaren, I believe, for some months, I'm pretty happy. And then if I imagine Ciclari on track, well, maybe he would have been further 10 seconds down the road. Well, now I'm quite unhappy that I'm not doing Monza with McLaren. Unless I do it 2 times, like Paul Ricard, but that's quite a time investment. You spotted that quite well. I don't know if they're like, I got them to test them. Not sure if they're actually being sold at the moment. But before I promote them too much, I will need to say to send my PayPal to Mr. Dom. But they're quite nice. I mean, from this lighting you cannot really see anything, but I can show quickly after the race. McLaren really eats those curbs. Come on, the pace is there to keep doing 58.9s, but difficult. Yeah, I pretty much always, like when I was buying gloves, I wanted those without the wrist part. But well, I couldn't say no to these. Purple sector 2, would you believe? And coming up for a personal best even. If I did these lap times all the time, then I would be on the rear of Iversen. But it's just a small skill issue that I have with the McLaren. Well, the car is just going quicker and quicker now, to be honest. Too early apex. Somebody slow down the Porsche, like, I keep gaining, you know? Thank you, much appreciated, Mr. Mercedes. Worst hypercar of GT3 BOP. Ooh, that's a good one. Ah, GT3. Must be GT3. Because hypercar is kind of decently tuned. The GT3s are a bit all over the place because they did the tire update, which suddenly made some cars much better than before. But the BOP hasn't been changed. But it's gonna be changed. It's gonna get fixed. And probably when the hypercars get the update at the end of January, hopefully, the BOP will maybe be all over the place as well, so let's see. It's really weird, like I don't know if it's me or if it's the car or the tire, but it just like entered in some kind of a groove where whatever I do, the pace is very, very consistent. And it really makes sense because the mid-engine cars were just so bad before, had to be helped with BOP. And now suddenly they are much better because of tire being a bit more forgiving. That's a cut. Okay. Well, I'm catching the Porsche, like I'm really kicking myself for doing these small mistakes at the race start. Losing a couple of tenths here and there. Maka Festival, well, at least for once. Let's see, let's see. I'll enjoy lapping some Makas with whatever hypercar we take. Well, the blue Porsche is bigger and bigger. Second gap though in 5 laps. I'm gaining half a second though. Hello Insom, thank you. That Ferrari looks problematic. Just took the apex and hoped for the best, but that's all I can do. Oof. Fine line with the rear end. Well, that's the McLaren, right? Hi, Indus. Come on. Ah. Well, we have enough cuts. But believe it or not, like, it's normally the rear of this McLaren just fully snaps, but on this setup it actually has a little bit of playroom, like it can snap a bit, but it's still catchable. Also, it's a byproduct of the V1.2 LMU tire. Can't believe I'm catching the Porsche. Well, there is no thermal drag, right, in these conditions, so makes sense that the delta is not really getting worse. I'm taking the cut. Orange, oh no. Okay. Rotate. Just about. Yeah, I wonder what's the Porsche tire wear. Well, I gapped Ramonet by 20 seconds and he's not really off pace. I've really cooked this setup. Ay, 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 ay. Too much ABS. Thank you for the sub. As we go into the last 2 laps, 1 second gap. He took the cut now. Oh! Wow, okay. I guess Porsche has Porsche moments as well. Game on. Pedals are the Heusig-Welt sprints. Alright, let's find the gap. Did they put a light blue Porsche into my thumbnail? Or was it different color? Ah, he made the apex for the exit. Slipstream. No! I binned it. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, 2 corners to go. Ay, 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 ay. No! No, no, no! I had such a nice run in the second part of the race. Ah, GG Iversen, GG. But where did that pace come from the McLaren? Like at some point it's just like the car just turned on and boom, like better and better pace. Ooh. Хрощеве шпринтерце, oh yes. That's a nice Slovenian one. I downshifted to first and the rear said, uh-oh, this is a McLaren, we do not accept first gear. No, I enjoyed the race. That was a super nice push in the end. And I guess I made Iverson's evening quite fun as well. Oof. GG. GG. No, it didn't push me off. Let's check the replay. I just like, at some point I was like, okay, the inside is gonna be defended in the next corner. If I don't have the inside there, then I don't really have a chance. Otherwise I would have to go around the outside. Let's just open the replay and see. Oof, but like where did that pace come from? That was so unexpected. I was just losing so much time and then suddenly just... wow. Yeah, there is a bit of dirt here, like a little bit, so I was like, I didn't know what's gonna happen here, so I just hoped for the best, but the McLaren just ate it. And then here, I know that the Porsche on the exit has like zero front, it's gonna go straight. But the McLaren is not much better, you know. If it was some front-engined car, I would be like, oh, let's use the extra grip to maybe like do a weird line and then make a nice dummy, or like dummy to the left but go to the right, or like just dummy inside and then go nice switchback. But it's a McLaren, so I didn't really have the feeling that on the right side I'm gonna have any grip, so switchback it is. And then I'm like, yeah, this here, what you can do, like if it goes normally, you kind of switch back here and then get a nice run, but then the Porsche just defends the inside and I'm on the outside and I'm just like pushed into the like less rubbered line. And I know for the fact that with the McLaren, the tighter I went, the better it felt. Otherwise I was just losing the rear. So I was like, in that split moment, I felt, I mean, probably not the whole last sector process went through my head, but I felt like, okay, let's take the chance, let's carry the speed around the outside, because you cannot defend it. Let's assume that I don't have this weird four-wheel drift. I'm here on the curb and you can squeeze me however you want, but I'm on the inside, I'm still alongside. And then you just take the apex and then you have a very good chance of sticking in the lead. Yeah. Christoph, thank you for the sub. So from this POV, this downshift, like a stupid downshift. You know, if you drive the McLaren now and then, you do this downshift where you expect it to just help you a little bit with the rotation, but it's not a simcade. Like you're on the limit. Second gear is on the limit. Like, nah, you know what I'm gonna call it? I'm gonna call it R factor 2 muscle memory. I need to get rid of that shit. Like, I need to get rid of it, because this is not the first time I find myself instinctively doing this. Let's check this one. Thank you, Anthony, for the sub as well. Much appreciated. So I go in a second gear. I kind of correct it on the downshift to second, and then I go aggressively in, and then I'm just like, oh, why not have even more rotation? First gear, well, here you have the rotation, right? This was the perfect slip angle for R factor 2, perfect. Shame that it was the wrong sim for the move, right? I'm gonna check Motec for the actual values. But yeah, I just four-wheel drifted. And then at this point I had the Neanderthal deep inside me saying, you're still on the inside, send it into the apex. You know, we have street justice rulebook here, as I often say, but that would have been quite bad, you know, just like fully break into the apex, block it off. Arguably, I would have made it, because this was a very safe positioning, very fair positioning to avoid the contact. Where are you, Motec? We don't need that. We need this. Load. Thank you. Where are you? Slip. You always know it's a good one when you have to resize the scale. Yeah, it just increases. So this is second gear. Third gear second, and then I turn in second. The rear slip angle is nice, and then I just go to first, and then it, yeah, just keeps increasing. There it almost stabilized a bit. And if it was R factor 2, that would be the sweet spot, perfect rotation. But it's LMU, so down to 13 slip angle. Nicely catchable, to be honest. It would be a big 360 on the old tires. Can I get a nice shot of the drift? There is this like little assignment on the button. But then it rotates together with the car, which is silly, but that would have been a nice shot if it didn't rotate. It doesn't really look like a huge sideways moment, but okay. Oof. This means that I basically need to eat a little bit of glucose. It's coming from my sensor. There you go. Type 1 diabetes. For 12 years already, actually. It's very nicely Bluetoothing its way through the cloud. Where is my... I'm gonna just... there it is. Through the cloud and Bluetooth into the SIM hub and onto my steering wheel. But 3.7 is on the low side, so let me have a little bit of glucose. It would be nice if we had amount of drop rounds displayed here. Wait, how much did I clear RAM on it? 20 seconds to the other McLaren. And I respect... what happened there? That's not a McLaren. Why do we have, you know, this little... I mean, is it a McLaren Mercedes? Wait, I need a bit of a bigger screenshot so I can report the bug. I have it too. All right, thank you. It's kind of hard, but like stuff like this, helps a lot. Just monitoring it. It's very hard if you don't have live reading during a race. Then you're just in the dark, and then you never know if it's just adrenaline or if you have just so low blood glucose that is producing the adrenaline, not the race. So hard to distinguish. So it's super nice to have the sensor. Okay, so I started the stream a bit late today. Actually, before I proceed, let me just copy screenshot. Okay, screenshot the bug. And now let's find if there is, like, maybe I want to do one more. I'm quite done anyway, but I just did 2 races today, so... Should I do the Fuji one again? Ramucho, thank you. You saw your McLaren AMG in the result. If I do this, I don't know. I feel like I know how to drive too much. It's not gonna be fun anymore. No, you know what? It's been 2 really good races. Let me just show what the gloves are, because I didn't show before. I hope it's not really well visible, right? When I can just quickly do a setting on the camera. There you go. Just like, I don't know if they're sold yet, but it's like very breathable, and it's externally stitched, so it's really good. That's my requirements, that external stitching and not too hot, like a very like tiny, or like very thin. I mean, just a glove, to be honest, but feels good. Your blood sugar goes up. I mean, yeah, I because I fear that I have too low because of the adrenaline, then I eat too much mid-race, and then I have problems. Well, I had that with too high millimoles before I had the sensor and this reading here. Nah, let me just quickly check the situation for the special event, but I think I'm just gonna have a shorter stream today. So if you guys leaving already, then thank you so much for watching. Much appreciated. But if you're staying, let's just quickly turn the brain on, because I'm just clicking like a lost sheep through the screen. So this is what I wanted to check. The weather. So yeah, it will be, I think it said it's 12:30 start, and then it's sunny, so this is gonna be super hot. And then we only have 4 tire sets and a half for a 6-hour race. It's gonna be quite a funny one. Anyway, my head is quite empty. Like, after such a push in the end to get the position, and then if it's successful or not, you have left all like the energy that you had on track to make it work. So I'm speechless. So I'm just gonna say thank you again, everyone. Thank you for watching. My teammates are gonna be the guys from... Actually, wait, I'm gonna do it with Jesper. Jesper and Colin. You almost got me there. I almost said a little bit about the team, but not able to announce it yet. Soon TM. But yeah, indeed, as Mario, as you say, Happy New Year celebrations, everyone. Stay safe, enjoy. Remember the esports diet and esports drinking. You have to be still on pace after the new year for sim racing and for everything else. Myself and Colombo, maybe one day. But I guess you've seen the Discord screenshot, right? Anyway, have a great one. Have a great last day of 25. See you in 26. Bye bye.